Today I am going to be talking to you about the root beer. This is what Robert Golob personally, together with the psychiatrist Peter Kapsch, referred to as root beer. Maybe you're asking me why, how come? Because they tutored me, they brainwashed me. It's whether this chemical or similar chemical to this, but I think that's the kind of chemical they were playing with, exactly this one. Also, they have different chemicals. This kind of chemical, if you were to drink this, if you were to consume this, without a doubt would make a hole on your intestines, on your stomach. You are through, you're dead. There is no way anybody can save you from that one right there. This here is 100% dead. This drills the hole through the skin. This burns the skin. This is what a drain cleaner, drainage cleaning. This eats everything on the way. Everything that is maybe even plastic, I don't fucking know. This is very, very bad. The rust, everything. It just removes absolutely everything. So if you were to drink something like this, you were through. Root beer. What is the root beer? Based on my knowledge, based on my experience, not my knowledge. Knowledge is something different. But based on my experience, one time there was this guy, Eddie Lamar. His name is Eddie Lamar. And he's from Miami downtown. It's a Haitian guy, black guy. And he will always come to me and to my ex-wife in the store. This is a park meter guy in Miami downtown. And Eddie loved root beer. And there was a store, the Jamaican store, not too far from there. They would sell the stuff from Jamaica. One of the things, Eddie, I was interested in what kind of food they eat and drink and all that. Something I was interested absolutely to see what people have in different countries. I was interested in different to see varieties of the stuff that I can, use, purchase, and so root beer is very, very I'll describe one. This is, to me personally, it's burning, a bit obnoxious taste. Not really the taste I would prefer. Like nothing like some kind of cola or something like Coca-Cola or something like that. A good tasty drink. Root beer is, and it's extremely calm. I don't know how you say that. Is extremely sparkling. It's not sparkling, but it's just, it turns into not bubbles really. Pena. I don't know how you. Not really sparkles. Root beer. This is a root beer. This one here, this is a root beer. Okay, it's not like I spell it. Okay, it's a root beer. And I like that because Eddie told me this is very good for you, he said. I like idea about this. No, I don't like the drink. I did not like the drink at all. But the idea was extremely tempting to me. It was extremely tempting to me because Eddie was talking in the store about the root beer. He was talking about the root beer. A year, I don't know what year was it, maybe 99 something. And my wife, she was from Ecuador. She was Ecuadorian, and so I was extremely curious about what is this root beer, because he told me this is made out of certain You're gonna see, like, natural. It's very natural. He told me it's very, very good. Uh, ingredients, root beer ingredients. So you see you see a lot of this, all kinds of plants and stuff like that. Allspice, birch bark, coriander, juniper, ginger. Ginger was the main thing. You know, he told me it's very good for you. Ginger is natural and this and that. And so I was from Europe. I did not even know what the fuck the ginger is. Really, I had no idea what the ginger is. I was born back in the day in 1971. So we didn't ginger. We have something else here that we use instead of ginger. And so I was like, wow, man, he talked about root beer. I remember root beer. I went to the store, to this Jamaican store. I said, a root beer, please. And they gave me the root beer, a whole bottle of it. I was all fucking crazy. I could not even wait to make it to my wife. I said, come on, I said, look what I have, and it was this big bottle of root beer. 2-liter bottle, whatever it was. I wanted the biggest one. I couldn't wait. It was just 2 blocks away from the store. And as I returned to the store, I said, come on, let's go. I opened it up, that thing, and my wife was like, give it to me, and I gave her first to drink, and she went like this, literally with the bottle, nyom, 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 nyom. And then all of a sudden it was boom, everything out. Not really out, but she ran to the toilet and it was terrible. And I said to her, I told her, no. I said, give it to me, that stuff. And I went like this. And wow. This was not a Coca-Cola, I can tell you that. It was not a tasty drink. It was just hot, man. And the taste was not, it wasn't tasty and stuff. And so it did not work for me, the root beer. Eddie tasted it, and it was nothing wrong with the root beer. We were sure that they sold us something that is, sometimes you get, it did happen to me already, that I would get even drink that would be, I think it was not exactly the way it's supposed to be, based on specifications. And so we figure out that maybe this is just, at first we figure out that maybe this is just something that it was production, that was some kind of mistake during production. And so Eddie tasted it and he said, yeah, this is a root beer, there's nothing wrong with one. My wife called him, she said, Eddie, come to the store, we bought this drink and we think the drink that you told Bob, we think this drink is no good. So he came to the store and he tested it. This is very good. Okay, so it was very good. Robert Golob, psychiatrist Peter Kapsch, and also police investigators and people even from the psychiatric hospital Ljubljana Poli were involved in this stuff. A person from the Zagreb psychiatric hospital was involved in this stuff. Literally tutored me how to poison myself. I did not drink root beer in my life. This was the first and the last, and in between there was nothing. But it was something interesting that happened, right? And so everybody knew about this case. And so Milan Kucan, Robert Golob, they pick up this stuff. Golobic, Školč. I found another name today. It doesn't matter. They got excited about the root beer because apparently this is what they claimed me. If you mix a chemical like this one here, like a rust remover, with a Coca-Cola, then you would get the taste of the root beer. And so Robert Golob demanded for me also to memorize what you get if you mix Coca-Cola and this type of drain cleaner, if you like. This is horrific. This stuff here. This is horrible stuff. He demanded for me to memorize and understand, and it was used during MK Ultra as a code to remind me of a suicide. So whenever Robert Golob was coming into this house here, barricaded by the police, that's where the police barricaded itself in, he would always remind me of the root beer. He was root beer, root beer, root beer. And it was even about what kind of taste this stuff have and what would you use not to feel at least as possible. Well, obviously it would be tearing you apart on the inside, right? This is the people, the type of the people. They started with this stuff in 2000. I did not drink for anybody worried about my consumption of sodas, that kind of stuff. I did drink in Miami, 7-Up, that was the drink. I left Miami in 2006, and even that was really not exaggerated. My main drink remained water all along. This was the main drink, water. Not even coffee. I didn't drink one until I was 37 years old. 37 years old. I mean, literally through depression, through I don't want to say struggle, but when you wrestle with unemployment and you try to beat day for night and day for the night and night for the day, literally sending out resumes and stuff, doing the stuff that you would look at least normal as possible as you get out of one after another what people refer to as a long-term unemployments, without which you have no right to report yourself anywhere to collect benefits or anything like this. It was not tough, but it was just a struggle on survival, lunacy. And the more this lunacy went with forced unemployment, the more empowered this circle of people that surrounded me during MK Ultra felt. The more they were certain they had me under control. And the thing is that when they have you under control, you're dead, you're kaput. That's when you are finished. If you ever find yourself in somewhat similar situation to mine, I don't feel good, obviously. I have migraines and so on, and so I apologize. My voice, everything is stuffed up, nose, ears, everything. Root beer I would also buy myself a cider, apple cider. That also I would buy here and there to treat myself. And it's another one they compared this with, this kind of chemicals. This is something I already have wrote about. Zagreb Psychiatric Hospital, where they delivered me to Zagreb Psychiatric Hospital, how they suggested me, the lady, or I don't know how anybody that is employed in Zagreb Psychiatric Hospital, that would, anybody would not know about the stuff like this. You would have employees employed in there that would be talking shit like this to somebody from Slovenia, and that you would not know what they're talking about. I simply don't believe you, because it always came out clear and evident. Already this circle of people, everybody knew about this stuff. So I thought this is important for me to share with you, that you understand the type of police in Novo Mesto I'm talking about. A psychiatrist Peter Kapš. Robert Golob is a Slovenian prime minister. That you understand what MK Ultra is, so that you understand what this is about, so that you're not gonna, I use certain words, expression on my website. If you watch this program, if you start to understand what type of people this are, what is this, what this look like, and I guarantee you, whatever you get to read about German Gestapo at concentration camps, these people exceeded their expectations. You want to look as normal as possible, as they do in front of the screens and the public, but they're nothing like this in a privacy of a home that is barricaded, that is, or their homes, or in Serbia or Russia, wherever they hijack me, Poland, Slovakia, Republika Srpska in Bosnia and Herzegovina. These people are something else. They appear to be normal, but in this video it's exactly about what went on. They incited in poisoning since 2000, but the climax of this, since they observed me, this root beer, since 1999, it was this guy, this Robert Golob, that started to contemplate into the suicidal thoughts that he would instill in me. And once they threw me into the psychiatric hospital, before they threw me into the psychiatric hospital, in 2012 they threw me there, but about 3 years earlier, 4 years earlier, they started to talk about this issue, about the suicide issue. And one of those suicide subjects that Robert Golob was obsessed about, that he was totally, it wasn't about this root beer issue only. They had me on several bridges. They probably had me on, they had me in Lochna, they had me in Ljubljana, where the psychiatric hospital is located. Not too far from there is a bridge across Ljubljanica. This was one of the bridges where MK Ultra took place before they threw me into the psychiatric hospital Ljubljana in 2012. And it did not stop in 2012, this type of stuff, the root beer stuff. They demonstrated where Lidl, Hofer, all that stuff, and reminded around these stores using third-party people, whoever they were using, from the area people to remind me about the root beer issue, about the cola issue. When you're inside of the psychiatric hospital, by the way, you can stop at the Hofer and this and that, and you can, in that sense, this is the way it went. So bridges in Slovenia, probably they had me on, I know, for another bridge near Ljubljana, another one, probably about 5 bridges they involved in Slovenia. So if this is legitimate to you, this type of psychiatry, if MK Ultra is, this is what MK Ultra is, like this is this, so then be it. Root beer, whenever you hear the root beer during MK Ultra, this is what this was about. The taste between the Coca-Cola that you mix together with this stuff, and you get a root beer. By Robert Golob. He is a genius. He was a genius inventor of the root beer. Different kind of root beer. That's what he wanted. He wanted the root beer. He wanted to have it done like this. He is from the political party called Freedom. He claimed that he's going to be fighting for my freedom. There's going to be everything for me, for the freedom. Freedom movement is the name. This. Freiheit. There you go. Slovenia. Freedom movement. There you go. He opened his own political party, and he explained to me the motto behind his, what you see right there, Svoboda, would mean for me, according to his terms, he explained to me inside of this home where he barricaded himself with the police, it would have two meanings. One would be Slobodan. If you take the V away and you put L, is Sloboda, Slobodan, with N missing at the end. This was one meaning. Slobodan, he said, I will be either Slobodan or I will be for the your freedom, yes. And your freedom, yes, could not come without my keeping silent about this here, about his mentor Slobodan, or I should say Milan Kucan. That's the way. This is the Slovenian Prime Minister, Slovenian pride. Ponos Slovenije. Slovenski ponos. I thought this is important for me to accent to. I don't have, I was thrown into the psychiatric hospital, Ljubljana Poli, in 2012. I was the one. And then again in 2014. So that's what you're watching. You're watching from my point of view this stuff, because I deem this stuff to be so primitive, so low, so, I'm not going to say, obviously this is not uneducated, but obviously that this is obsession with killing. It's not, I mean, if you go and you teach somebody to do the cola with this is, in my opinion, that you're drunk. You're completely drunk from obsession to get somebody killed if this is what you do to him. This stuff, whenever the police, Novo Mesto police investigators, they were asking me about the root beer. But just the way I smile to you right now, exactly the way I smile to you about the root beer, if I know about the root beer. You know that I told them I don't? Do you know that I even told them that I do not know what they are talking about when they were asking about the root beer? Why? Because I was so much traumatized. You know what a trauma is? You don't. You do not know. None of you really knows what trauma is. This is not about overkill. This is about no less than 49 years my being exposed here and there for 49 years, over 10 years for sure, 24/7 to MK Ultra procedure. So we can be talking about, which was nothing other than trauma. We can be talking about here overkill, because it's gross understatement if you talk about overkill in issue like this. Can you imagine that I was the one who was thrown into the psychiatric hospital? Yet I had psychiatrists to whom they have sent me here in Novo Mesto. I had people that surrounded me, police that would meet me at the police station talking to me about a root beer at home. Not only at home, but everywhere, whatever would be possible, root beer. I told them I don't know. I told them when they were asking about the root beer, I told them I don't know. I don't know. This is how bad this stuff was. Because if I would started to think about the stuff these people were doing with me in everyday's life, it would be a very, very short for me. It would be finished for me. So the stuff that I grappled with, not wrestle, I don't know how to say grapple, right? it's a bit more than overkill. This was the stuff that only if you're really intelligent, you can survive. And even as intelligent you can be, it's unbelievable. Look, it's 2025 February, and still like this they keep me isolated. They continue to do their stuff even like this. So I told them I don't know what the root beer is, what they mean by the root beer. When they were asking me about the root beer, I didn't know. Cider, sparkling cider is what psychiatrist Peter Kapsch. Psychiatrist Peter Kapsch learned about the stuff I would drink, and then he would relate, like he related dots together, join instigations, demands for me to commit a suicide with whatever drinks more like exotic that I would, if I would drink, basically. Those few bottles, that I drink of this apple cider. So that's how it goes, that's how they do it. And subliminary is a sound people could not, possibly that people might have not been acquainted with this stuff, and maybe they were, I don't know. He would use these expressions in front of them, literally. And that's how traumatized I was. I would say to them, no, I don't know about that stuff. So this is not a killer instinct. This was obsession. If you saw psychiatrist Peter Kapsch, if you saw Robert Golob, if you saw Kucan, if you saw police officers, how they behaved, Gestapo did not behave like this during the World War II, because they had broad authority to eliminate you immediately if they didn't like you. But these people could not eliminate me, and this is what drove them sick. You know, I kept coming back. They would keep coming for more, and for the more they were coming, it seemed like the more the things are getting away from them. Like in this video. Now, I thought that this was worthy for me to mention about the cola. Unfortunately, I have to say that American side picked up this signal. There was some black people who started to talk about this stuff. For me, it's important to mention because in the US, I would not want to see this kind of mental illness spread to the United States of America. Beyond Slovenia, you know, folks, wherever you are around the world, this country is the most critical when it comes to the health. That's why I hate this department of, you know, United Nations, World Health Organization. Slovenia is critical. This is a country that is critical. You can have all the fuck you want. You can have people with a standard money living, because that's what you do. You prorate on an average, you know. But at the same time, you have some horrific stuff going on behind the curtain nobody knows about. And that's Slovenia. Incredible stuff. Incredible for me to consider that people in South America, in Brazil, in Argentina, and even in the United States of America, I understand, started to get fucked with in a very similar fashion, same way as to what Slovenian police invented with the mailing services, with the postal office services. People started to receive the stuff. I had all of a sudden people in Brazil boasting about police officers in the United States and in Brazil boasting about that they see how this stuff is done and so on, and even stuff I don't want to talk about, to put it plain and simple. This shit spread from Slovenia around the world, from this little country here. It's extremely good financial standard here, but this is a fucking sickness, man. If anything ever was sick in this world, then this country is as sick as anything can possibly be sick. I already burned the movie, you know, but the thing about it is that this is too damn big. Do you see what is written here? I can't afford to miss out on this stuff here. This is the color and what it looked like in the United States of America, where Robert Golob and Milan Kucan started to play first with a drain cleaner, with a root beer. So this, for me, this stuff is so big when I consider this. This psychiatrist Peter Kapsch, I have one right behind this Slovenian ad here, Norre cene, because inside of our house, psychiatrist Peter Kapsch, he would repeatedly demonstrate me the ad from the local store Eurospin, you know, and he would say crazy price, crazy, and he would ask me about what do you think. I'm trying to find the paper right now from this local store, Eurospin. Well, I don't have one here, and I'm going to go look for it. He was asking about, he would show me an ad like this. Let me demonstrate you how that looked like. Eurospin Slovenia you would have, and then you have a flyer like this. Drain cleaner like this, Eurospin, and I would sit exactly where I sit at. Yeah, let me turn the camera on so that you can see me one more time. He would be sitting right there like this, or she would be sitting, he would have me like this, and he would be sitting right here next to me in this area here. And what he would want to know from me is, what do I think about the ad? And the ad says crazy prices. He took time to explain me the meaning of crazy. I don't think it was many MK Ultra sessions that went on inside of this house that psychiatrist Peter Kapsch would not take time to talk to me about Norre cene, Eurospin, Norre cene, Norre cene, and he would be demonstrating me if there would be a flyer with a special on the drain cleaner on it. He definitely would have shown me. He did have the flyers. He loved to play with lights, with flyers, with the store flyers. He was obsessed with the store flyers. He was obsessed with the flyers from the store that did not come yet, that will come in the future. He was obsessed about that stuff. Oh, I apologize for this. If it would not be a drain cleaner available, he would remind of other chemicals that would find. With the Robert Golob, they were with the police. They were doing also cleaning of my clothing inside of this house. We did a lot of cleaning here. Nurse Yanko cleaned here. Novo Mesto police investigators cleaned here. And they were exchanging opinions about all kinds of issues, checking out, investigating things, destroying things, vandalizing. And you know, the play with the drain cleaner started in '99 firmly, because I remember I was at the Wackenhut Corporation, where I had one guy, his name is Jose Montes, my co-worker, X1, who participated, entire Wackenhut participated in this. My co-workers, when it was MK Ultra, they also entered MK Ultra, my co-workers. And he was designated to remind me of the suicide, how to do a suicide. It was extremely disappointing for, this must have maybe this stuff was even earlier, I'm not sure. Extremely disappointing for Milan Kucan, for Robert Golob, because I did not commit a suicide in the United States of America. I found them inside of this house here in 2004. Wow, my ears are just almost crying to me. That they were pleased with the United States, but there is some things they did not manage to resolve yet, and they had on their mind, on that opportunity, exactly play with a root beer. A root beer. I never drink one in my life. That's why I wanted to give you the whole background about how they connected. It was not the root beer. It detergents, cleaners for clothing, softeners, all became related to root beer issue. Psychiatrist Peter Kapsch demanded from me to see drain cleaner consumption also through, whenever I would see detergents, fabric softeners. In other words, he wanted to place in my vision, in my eyes, in absolutely everything chemical related stuff that, you see, it didn't come to me earlier, this stuff about that they also used detergents and softeners for that purpose, and how. But their idea was to place in my eye, to remind me as much as possible, there is a way out of this, a suicide. That's what I'm trying to say. Connecting the dots. They talk about connecting the dots all the time. Connecting the dots. You just have to connect the dots. Yeah, this was the most often used phrase during MK Ultra. Connecting the dots. So they flashed around me with anywhere from detergents, softeners, a drink like Coca-Cola, soda, and reminded me by using other words, apple cider, which was not available here in Slovenia, a root beer during MK Ultra. They did not like to talk about all the time about how you commit the suicide and so on. They describe this stuff several times, but not beyond that. What they do is they use the language. Do you remember? Do you remember what we said about this? Do you remember what you said about that? And so on and so forth. That's how they do this stuff, to put it plain and simple. Yeah. In United States of America, Robert Golob, Milan Kucan already used even my co-workers to remind me of that stuff. And there was a husband from Maritza Vasquez, who was a maintenance man in the building where I live, that also reminded me of MK Ultra, how you can commit a suicide by delivering that liquid, playing with that liquid inside of the apartment. We got that liquid, but I was not interested. I was just not interested in their ideas. I was in my own world. Some people were asking, why are you so much detached in your own world? Well, I had a business to do. I had to stay alive. That's why, basically. And I think I did a good job at that. So, that much about the root beer. Root beer. I don't have this commercial right now, and it really doesn't matter because it could be another. This is everywhere. They sell them everywhere. This stuff. Drain cleaner is just basically a drain cleaner. I do want to say to the people watching this program, by watching my program, you get to see something I never had the opportunity. You get to educate yourself in a field of police crime in a way in Slovenia they only talk about they talk about the corruption, they talk about how somebody steal 100 euros or 1,000 euros or some money mismanagement, and or somebody did somebody a favor and stuff like that. That's nothing compared to the stuff I'm talking about, isn't it? They, in other words, they use this kind of issues to present themselves like some kind of a democratic society, like some kind of society that is otherwise well governed, except for maybe here and there some money mismanagement and so on. In reality, this is all based on crime, corruption, criminality. That's Slovenia. That's a real Slovenia. Money mismanagement, they award themselves contracts, just like as I described on my website. Do not contemplate on committing a suicide with stuff I have spoken about in this video. If anything, you're going to remember me by my giving you ability for you to view how this stuff is done, so that you can take action, not only protect yourself, but also take action in a way that will demonstrate your competence and ability to get crime against you, your families, solved, if God forbid you ever find yourself in this situation. This is the main thing to me when it comes to the stuff I do. This is the main thing I do. The main concern to me is that you viewers that watch this stuff, you don't learn this kind of stuff, but that you watch and you learn how they do to you submentally, subconsciously, how they poison your brain, what MK Ultra does, so that you understand maybe even your negative thoughts. These are not negative thoughts. These are black thoughts, as my psychiatrist Tatjana Prokšl, a Serbian from Bosnia, was writing on her reports. She was talking about črne misli in tako naprej. Crazy stuff. Crazy, no? I think it's very crazy. Human mind needs understanding, and then the rest is up to you. If you don't understand, then God help you. But I think I did a very good job at this video by exposing the scum, dirt, filth. Novo Mesto police station, right here. Killers, murderers, assassins at work 24/7. That's why we don't like this stuff, because it's something else. This is not the stuff the police should do, and this is what they were doing practically since my childhood. They did this stuff since my childhood, not practically. From psychiatric hospitals, military installations throughout Yugoslavia, prisons, and psychiatric hospitals, and prisons again. They designed the pattern, the path. That's how they wanted to get. Now they got everything they ever dreamed about. Maybe they got more than what they bargained for. I hope so. Thanks for watching this program. Thanks for watching this video. Till next time.